A couple of nights ago, my wife lured me in, enticed me, pulled me in to try and watch a film on Netflix. Now, normally, she's going to kill me for this, normally the selection isn't, let's just say, to my taste. She's going to kill me for this. So I was a little bit reluctant to watch it. I said, what is the film? She said, it's the new Elvis Presley film. So I was like, come on then, let's watch it. Elvis is not really to my taste, if I'm honest. I'm Michael Jackson. I think he's the king because that's the era that I was brought up in, etc. But if someone's got the crown of the king, then you got to sit down and listen. Also, Tom Hanks was in it. He's a great actor. So I thought, right, let's give it a go. Ended up watching this film, and as it evolved and as Elvis evolved through the journey in this film, it just really opened my eyes to the journeys that people go on, successful people, but the things that you don't really see behind closed doors, the things that people are doing, going through and becoming. And he was known at the start for Elvis the pelvis, right? And the reason for that is because he used to jiggle, move his pelvis a lot when he danced. And that was really frowned upon in America at that time, because there was a massive segregation between black and white race, and they was trying to draw a line down it, you know, whites here, blacks there, blacks not on a bus, whites can only sit in these seats. So, you know, he was really going against the grain, but his underpinning, right, his foundations of his character was that he was brought up on blues music, right? So that was a massive part of his heritage, his soul, who he was, his authentic self. So trying to move past that is really, really hard for someone, right? Because it's installed in you. It's your foundations. You know that when you're really someone and you try and be someone else, it's tough. You're in conflict and it doesn't feel right. And anyway, he was evolving into becoming this amazing superstar. And then he got to a point where his manager wanted to make more money from him, right? It was always a money spin, really, for his manager. He wanted to make more money for him. So what happened was he got him to do like these Christmas specials where he would have to really like calm it down. So he couldn't do like Elvis the pelvis anymore. He had to sing like ballads and stuff like that. And he was like, that is just not me. I'm not a ballad singer. But his manager has signed him up for this thing, right? Because his manager had another interest at heart, and it was his gambling, right? He was using Elvis to pay for his gambling. So he signed him up in Vegas and all these things so he would pay for his habit. And through that time, Elvis lost who he really was. He didn't really have a voice for himself. He didn't really become who he knew that he could have been at that time. But then there was this breakthrough. And there was this one particular person in his life, and he said to him, you've got to go back and reclaim your old self. You need a reset. And so what he did, when everybody was preparing their Christmas jumpers, Elvis got up on stage rather than wearing a Christmas jumper and singing a ballad. He got up and he sung rock and roll in an all, you know, leather outfit, and he become Elvis the pelvis again, right? And the reason that I'm telling you this, because it was so enlightening, it was so amazing to see somebody turn their self around and finally go back to being the man that they know they could already be. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because maybe that sounds a little bit like you. If you right now are getting caught up in validating and doing things for other people, if you are getting too caught up in work and the time that you're putting in it, and it's not giving you enough time with your family or looking after your body or the things that you know that you love to do, then you're chasing the wrong things, and it only ends up, in one place. Unhappiness. It's a dangerous route. You should never really lose what sets your soul on fire. And if you do, you should always know how to get back in touch with it. So if this is like you, if this sounds like you, this is what you need to do. You need to go back to ground zero. You need to go back and understand what it is that gets you out of bed in the morning, but then that bed becomes a springboard. It's like I'm up, I'm at it, I'm excited, and it's that energy you get from living and being the person that you should be, living with that purpose, living with meaning, living with passion, living with authenticity. Then when you give out that, you ooze this energy. And guess what? Everyone wants to be a part of that energy. They're like, where have you got this energy from? How have you become this person? People want to know. And the simple answer is, I'm just being myself. I'm being the product. I'm being the person that I should have always been. But I lost myself because I was going searching, chasing, in hunt of material objects, of things outside of my own self that I thought was going to make me happy. But they don't make you happy. They never will make you happy. Whatever you can buy right now will be pointless in 5 years. Whatever you're chasing right now will not be worth it. The most valuable asset that we all have is time. And I think it's time for you to finally become that man that you know you should be. I think it's finally time for you to step in to your true self, to your best self, to the version of yourself that is untouchable, unbreakable, that is so resilient. And the great news is, through going through this process and this journey that you've all been on, including myself, at times we think it's all for nothing. At times we think that it's going to destroy us. But those are the pillars in the end that prop us up, because that's when we go back to that baseline level and rebuild. And I want that for you. I want you to experience that. I want you to finally let go of your problems and step in to the man that you should have always been from the start. And I'd love to help you get there. If you're on that mission right now, or you just feel something's out of alignment, you're not in sync, you need an adjustment in your life, then I strongly recommend you direct message me, or you comment on this video. Probably better to direct message me because it's a little bit more personal and people can see it on here. But you know, whatever you want to do, direct message me the word coaching, and let's see if we can start a conversation so we can get you to finally become the man that you've always meant to be.